Where do I even start with this?
I can answer all of your queries.
Alright then. Who are you?
Yeah, I love this game, okay?
Humanity finally develops artificial intelligence, and this is the result.
And yes, I did make a video about this when it launched, but the thumbnail was very confusing, even to the staff behind the game. And this has annoyed me for so long. Like when you order a monkfish burger but they just can't get the spices right.
You wanker! Do you not know how to prepare a monkfish? Sorry, chef.
But I feel that Somnium Files AI, is one of the greatest games ever, and I can't stop thinking about it. Please play this, okay? I'm not gonna ask you nicely again. So to start, Somnium was created by Kotaro Uchikoshi, the dude behind the Zero Escape trilogy, i.e., he's a man who loves to make gruesome puzzle games, and it was such a weird way to promote Project Sync, as it was known, with eyeballs and idols. And it seems like this time around, Spike Chunsoft were throwing so much money at Uchi to make the game he wanted, and with that budget, they got Kozaki of Fire Emblem fame for the character designs, and yep, that's good character design. Every character looks so distinct, from the trench coat moody Date, the eyeball inspired Aiba, and... Oh, sorry, I lost my composure for a second. I hope that doesn't happen again. Oh yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, the game design. Now from what I can tell, it was developed at Spike Chunsoft with an assistant director, Akira Okada, who worked on Zero Time Dilemma's puzzles. And man, to go from this to this, what an improvement, mate. Everything about the game just shows us that aesthetic he was going for. You know, mood, big moody. And the only problem I would say is that playing this on the Nintendo Switch, yeah, it kinda struggles a little. Character models, they look good. And I say that with a surprised inflection because Uchikoshi hasn't had the greatest luck before with 3D models. Case in point, Virtue's last reward. But here they made sure the designs translated to 3D amazingly well, feeling unique, but also able to move around the environments, and the faces have so much emotion. Oh, I love them so much. Very good character designs. Big thumbs uppy. Now back to mood. The game straight from the outset gives off the noir vibes of a murder mystery game. Because yes, you can't spell Uchikoshi with that gruesome death, I know. Now I love everything about the opening scene, the music, the atmosphere, the way you learn about the crime from the people there, like Kanami and Boss. Boss? So Date is a special agent, part of Abyss, the all banana is Squidward team. And the whole purpose of the team is to use the sync feature, where Date sinks deeper into his comfy chair and jumps into a patient's dreams, like Mario in a painting. And there in Dreamland, they must learn everything they can about the crime. But of course, it would be weird for this grumpy, horny old man to do all the work, which is why his eye is actually a robot called Aiba, who is the character you control in the dreams. Now in these dream worlds, it's very different depending on the person. One can be a warehouse, the next a living room, the next Minecraft, and you have a time limit to solve the mystery, which gets deducted from every action you do. This often makes the scenario so much more tense because you don't want to dawdle. However, a really cool thing about this game is that any option you pick has voice dialogue, which means sometimes you might pick the wrong option, but because it's fully voiced, well...
I feel kinda good.
Why isn't AI getting drunk?
Why do I have to listen to Date diss me all the time?
And this is just the beginning of what made this game so enjoyable for me, the banter.
It was just banter.
The dialogue between Date and Aiba made me want to try out all the options, but getting stressed because there's a time limit and a very big risk reward. Do I get the big funny or the story? It's like they say in economics, where there's supply, there's no demand. Wait, that's not right. Look, you don't need an economics degree to know that this game is actually fun to play. While a lot of people might not enjoy other puzzle games or their extensive reading, the fact that this game is fully voiced in English, plus being able to freely explore the dream world, makes it so much more engaging than its contemporaries. I mean, it just walked up to the group and was like, hey dummies, you gotta step up your game. This is what peak puzzle game performance is. Now these days when you buy games, half of it is spent doing one thing, the other is, well, investigating the real world. And by that, I mean near future Tokyo. Because yeah, I don't think we have these kind of dream machines available. Unless you've already made one. Yes, son, I'm on to you. This gives the place a more realistic vibe, since the areas look familiar. But the near future part allows for high-tech sci-fi equipment. So at the first murder scene, Tate finds a small child trapped in the carousel, and she might be the key to solving the murder as a witness. Or murderer. I shouldn't mess with her, huh? But throughout the game, you and Aiba visit many different locations in Japan, interacting with so many unique kinds of characters. And I love every single one of them. From homely mothers, to old dude bodyguards, to even... Moving on. The characters are written in such a mature way, whether it's by telling you random facts or by expressing their emotions at the situation. Cause there's kind of a serial murderer out there, Iris. We don't need your theories on internet cults, okay? Speaking of Iris, he is one, but the other is a YouTube streamer character, who I guess you're gonna see a lot more in games because of that whole VTuber culture explosion. But you actually get to know her behind the camera through some circumstance and learn about her hopes and fears with her relationships to other characters. And this is more impactful as she's a big key to the story. It just feels real more than any other anime looking game because Uchi's style really diversifies his characters a whole lot more than others, and I really think it's a big plus. You won't find them screaming. Iris, like I said, also holds a key to the murders, and you want to protect her at the same time. But wait, Iris, it's 1 AM. Why are you streaming alone in your house? Wait, who knocked on the door? Oh, don't you answer it, it's not me.
I'll sing the rest next time. Bye.
Well, you gotta play the game to find out what happens next. And it's not just the solo characters, because many times you will interact with many combinations of them, with their banter bouncing off each other's personalities. Ah, so lovely. I just want to eat it all up. Tasty personality. And I mean, you have to have characters like this if you want to combat Date's horniness, per se. So yeah, Date is not the typical protagonist and can go a bit overboard at times with these dialogue. Okay, that's it. Please go out with me. Guess I'll die all alone. Guess I'll die all alone with my Nintendo Switch. But back to the horny, it's probably the one criticism I see with this game, at how Date just won't stop with the innuendos and jokes. And seeing that, it did remind me of something I saw on Twitter, of an interview with Uchikoshi, and going through it, it actually talked about the receptionist and her design. And, I quote, "I generally like YouTube censor word, but I came to notice that 70 to 80% of men like YouTube censor word. That's how I decided there had to be a YouTube censor word character in the game," which confirmed one thing about the man, and another that brought so many flashbacks. Oh, look at them go. About the time he made a game and anime about the thing he really loves. So Somnium itself is like a weird exception for Date to be extra horny on main. As in with Zero Escape, those had their moments, but they didn't appear in many places like with this one. However, it reminded me of the time where Uchikoshi actually wrote an anime called Punchline, with its own game based on said anime. And well, the premise is that if this dude sees underpants twice in quick succession, he dies and causes the end of the world. Now wait, how can you suddenly jump from trouser bulge to apocalypse? Well, this is a man that wrote games about the butterfly effect. I'll say his games love that kind of thing. Oh, I see, 1 more billion than last time, huh? So in essence, somehow Yuta, the main character, dying to this causes some events leading to an asteroid destroying Earth. But to the actual gameplay, because for some reason, a lot of the game is packed with cutscenes from the anime. And yes, it's surprisingly really good animation and kind of hilarious at times, but a lot of the game is just sitting back and pressing the X button, or holding X to skip cutscenes because every chapter they play the anime OP and ED, and I didn't know you had to hold X to skip. I mean, what game makes you hold a button to skip a cutscene? At least make it the start button. And they all have nice frilly designs, but moving on to the actual gameplay. Well, okay, Yuta is dead, because he saw too many colorful garments, and now as a ghost, he finds that someone is using his body, but the body jacko's locked himself in his room, and through some help from a talking cat ghost, yeah, we're bringing back the fluffy talking animals, huh? So from the cat sensei, Yuta learns to manipulate objects in the girls' rooms to get them to do objectives to eventually get his body back. I.e. say he wants her to open a drawer for a book, but the key is in another room. He has to shake things to manipulate the scene in a butterfly effect way. Ah, there's the theming. To trigger events to snowball into other events. It also has this weird Monsters Inc. vibe where he has to level up his spiritual power by scaring people and collecting their scare energy. Like, bro, I didn't even know that Monsters Inc. reference would be in this game, but here we are. But then again, it's also kind of like that DS game, Ghost Trick, where you inhabit objects as a ghost to make them move, getting the alive people around to do things for you. But there's one big difference with that game and this one. Oh no, don't fall over, you're gonna make the MC explode tomato sauce.
You Heinz tomato ketchup.
Yeah, the game over involves a character sometimes tripping, and if you look, you die. So in essence, the game actually tries to make you avoid the fan service, and I was surprised at that. It's not like the promotion for the game. Well, okay, I mean, sometimes it is, but I mean, the actual plot of the game can sometimes get wild. Wait, wrong clip. I meant wild, like, look, wild. It's trademark Zero Escape Mask, man. So yeah, it's not all bad. The worst bits are the gameplay, with the slow moving cursor, and incredibly easy puzzles. There is honestly no challenge at all during the start of the game. And the characters, it took too long to get into their personalities. I actually prefer the interactions between Yuta and the cat. But they are so short, and most of the time you just watch the girls talk to each other. The ghost people don't even interact on anything they say, and it just kind of feels creepily voyeuristic in a way. Look, with Uchikoshi's style of games, I think I prefer the ones where they have a dark plot opening, setting up the style of the game, not a big bombastic actiony one that is just filled with, oh no, the girl lost her key, oh no, the microwave is going to explode, and so on. It just takes too long to get to the good Uchi bits. The characters can be enjoyable if you like that wackiness, but frankly, I've had a bit too much of that cat giving me a funny look. Let's move on, please. So from that pit stop, I now understand more about Punchline, that the horniness was just a plot device, and here, well, Date's horniness is actually used to advance the plot, because whenever he sees Porno Mag,
It's a dirty magazine.
his brain goes into maximum overdrive, and Aiba gives him super hints to squeeze themselves out of tight situations. Which leads me to a point that this game has quite a few quick time events. Now they aren't bad or anything, but it's just kind of annoying how you're slumped deep in your chair enjoying the mood. But then suddenly, oh no, I gotta pick up the controller to press this specific button combination. It's almost as annoying as a polar bear in summer. Look, he's hot, he's mad. Oh no, what are you doing with that saw? Well, do you want to find out what happens? You gotta play the game, okay? Now some final things that add to the mood is the music, and it's honestly amazing with how it matches the tone of a gritty futuristic murder mystery noir game thing words, whether it's the chill piano sitting in a bar, to the cheerful music when you're stuck with characters that share only one brain cell, mostly used by Aiba, to then the mysteries of the dream world. Look, it's the perfect time for this, but the game has a serial killer, okay? And through some circumstance, you end up in the mind of the supposed killer. Maybe. I don't know, but the music that plays here, this is someone who has killed, gleefully taken life, and I can't express how unsettling this music is. Not in a Resident Evil, haha, I can hit an instrument hard. This is getting to my bones. I feel weird. I don't like being here. Get me out of this person's head. Somnium easily with this piece alone has the best atmospheric music I've ever seen in a video game. And coupled with the fact that the English voice acting is so outstanding, every voice actor feels like they gave it their all in every single line. They made their characters feel real in this world. And look, I've waffled on about the game and how it's amazing and so on, but I want to be real with you. This game broke me. Not once, but multiple times. I don't think a single game has ever made me feel such emotion like this. I'm often one who does tear up watching TV shows, but I mean rarely, and I mean very rarely with games. But the way Somnium relaxes you, eases you into the world it built with the music, character voices, dialogue, the visuals, you immerse yourself in the game. And remember, it's a place where gruesome murders take place, and yet the times I broke down were not where any murders happened. I just love the characters so much, and gosh darn it, I'll protect them with my life. The game is special to me, and I hope in this spoiler-free look, again, because, I stopped up the first time, I hope you will try it out for yourself, because it's just one experience I wish I could do all over again. This is Uchikoshi's best work. While the Zero Escape games, which more people played, there were so many janky bits with a story or gameplay, but here, it's the culmination of everything the man has learned into one of the best video game experiences out there. But just a reminder, if you buy it on the Switch, it kinda struggles in the end game. This actually feels sorta nice.
Trojan, RamZaes, Magnum, Chic!